The counter starters are one of my favorite starter trios. I love Venusaur, I love Charizard, and I love Blastoise. All of them solid. However, Blastoise is my least favorite. And it's also the starter with the least competitive merits. But since I'm a sucker for underdogs, I've decided to use Mega Blastoise for some funny shenanigans. So Blastoise gets this move called Water Spout. It's one of the strongest spread moves in the game, and it's the water equivalent to Eruption. And currently, it is Blastoise's most used move. So I decided to build a team where we can consistently spam that move, because everybody loves overkill moves. Just click button and nuke stuff. And in order for Blastoise to do that, it needs to be at full health to get the maximum potential damage. So I took some inspiration from Wolfie VGC, where at the beginning of Champions released, he uploaded a video where he paired up Mega Frostlass with Earthworm, where he shed-tailed and passed Substitute to Frostlass to get it safely in, and then set up with Nasty Plot. Blastoise, however, does not get Nasty Plot, but it does get Shell Smash, so we can boost our speed and our special attack at the same time. We do not care for attack boosts. However, even if you get it in safely, you still have to deal with two Pokemons at the same time, so we have two redirect Pokemons in Sinistcha and Volcarona, where Volcarona can also provide Tailwind support if we don't find the time or opportunity to set up Shell Smash. We can still get a speed boost and be faster and hit with strong Water Spouts. And Sinistcha is there to keep Blastoise healthy with Life Dew. We got Caesar on the squad as a secondary strong attacking option to pick up weakened foes, since it has the priority move Bullet Punch, and it also acts as a deterrent for the opponent to bring Sylveon in case they have it on their squad, because Sylveon is annoying since it gets Hyper Voice, which bypasses Substitute. The final member of the squad is Sableye, which is the most popular annoying Pokemon currently in the format. I kid you not, this guy has so many options and you never know what kind of moves it will have. It's basically a Russian roulette with this guy. But for this team, we went full support with Fake Out, Reflect and Light Screen to mitigate damage. For the final move, we went with Squash, which in my opinion is the most diabolical option that Sableye gets, and it works perfectly here. So what Quash does is it will make the target move last in the priority bracket, so even if we don't have Shell Smash setup or Tailwind setup, we can still be faster than the target we select with Quash. And it can be handy sometimes, especially when you want to try to pass that shed tail. So yeah, that's the squad, that's the game plan, so let's hop into some battles. Alright, we got ourselves a battle, and we seem to be running against a Charizard Y and Sylveon team, which is pretty common these days. Basque Legion is a common team member on that squad, but Whimsicott, Caesar, and Serena are not the usual teammates, but we'll see what the opponent has up their sleeves. So my usually strategy is to lead off with Sableye and Earthworm. Sableye to provide the Fake Out support and Quash to easily set up the Shed Tail and pass the Blastoise. But looking at the opponent's team, I do not like the matchups I might run into with that startup. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna change the Sableye for the Volcarona. The reason for that is, since they have Tailwind, I want to get Tailwind up as well, and if I also get Shell Smash up, that means I will be faster than everything on their team. Secondly, Volcarona pairs up well against everything on their squad except for Basque Legion, so it feels like a given. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna lead off with. I expect them to lead off with Basque Legion and Whimsicott, so I'm also gonna lead with Blastoise, so in case they don't flip turn or switch, I might catch the Legion with a Dark Pulse. So, big hopes here. Big hopes. And we're off to the battle, where my opponent looks kinda sleepy. And they do decide to lead off with the Whimsicott, but instead of Legion, they bring in the Tsarina. Probably to stop Bullet Punch from Scizors or Fake Outs from Sableye, but that's actually not so bad for me. So, Blastoise doesn't like to be staring down at two grass types, but Volcarona doesn't mind it at all. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna Scorch both their Pokemon with Heat Wave. Whimsicott will probably survive it, because they usually run Focus Sash, and I will just get up a safe Mega Evolution with Blastoise behind the Protect. And what the Serena will do, I have no idea. Probably Drop Kick or Power Whip on the Blastoise, but let's see how this goes. I Protect, and Whimsicott will Tailwind. And that Serena here is gonna use Taunt, probably expecting me to go for my own Tailwind, but yeah, the only wind that's being used here is a Hot Wind that puts both of their Pokemon in KO range for the next attack, if they stay in. So, since I protected this turn, I will switch out the Blastoise because Whimsicott usually runs Anchor, and since I protected this turn, I don't want to be stuck protecting. And Volcarona is just gonna use the Heat Wave and hopefully both stay in so I can get the free KO. I decided to go for the Earthworm play because two grass types usually can't do that much to Earthworm, except for High Jump Kick from Serena, but yeah, they decided to use the Power Whip because they expected the Blastoise to stay in. So they make full use of this turn by wasting their Encore and Power Whipping the Earthworm, and I fully capitalize it and KO both their Pokemon. And luckily Heatwave did not miss any one of them, so we're up by 2 Pokemon, which puts us in a pretty comfortable position. Here comes the Charizard in, and the backup will be Scizor. Ah. Didn't my opponent see that I had the Volcarona, and he decided to bring 3 Pokemon that are weak against it, and no Legion? Okay, that happened. So anyways, I am in a really comfortable position here. So yeah, I can just use Heat Wave, and their Scizor will be dead unless they have Protect. Nothing that Charizard can do will KO me, because even if they do run the Air Slash is far away from one of the strongest moves, so it can't possibly KO me. So the sun goes up with the Mega Roll, and let's see what I do with their Charizard. Here comes the Heat Wave, and how much will it do to a Volcarona? Oh, that did a lot. More than I expected, to be honest. Because I'm heavily invested in HP, not so much in special defense though, but still that did a lot. And the taunt is gone, which is kinda nice, so now I can use Protect to get some more leftovers recovery. And here I'm debating what to do with the Earthworm, because I don't want to bring in the Blastoise so that I take damage and weaken my Water Spouts, because here's the funny thing. Even if the sun is up, if their Charizard is not invested in bulk, HP and special defense, Water Spout will KO. A modest max special attack Water Spout will always KO the Mega Charizard. Why? That's how strong that move is. So yeah, since I figured that Earthworm was more or less dead weight, I decided to sack it here so that I can get in my Sinistcha for free next turn. And their Caesar decides to go for a Source Dash, which is a little bit scary, but hey, their Tailwind is gone. So there goes their speed advantage. So the Sun is gonna be up for 3 more turns. I decide to go into the Sinisha because what that will do is allow my Volcarona to heal up. Because from the HP range that I'm currently sitting at now, I am in no real danger of getting KO'd by any 2 attack combos they might bring. Heat Wave and Bullet Punch, or be it Heat Wave and Close Combat. So, that's great for me. Speaking of great, it's also a good opportunity for me to set up Tailwind to set up the late game Water Spout. So the Sinisha is just gonna protect, might as well keep it 1 turn longer on the field. And the Bullet Punch is gonna do a decent chunk, but we get the burn. So that's unfortunate. And that miss is unfortunate. Wow. Opponent can't catch a break. The winds of victory are clearly blowing in our favor now. So there's not much Volcarona can do. I'm just gonna spam Heat Wave with it, because if they don't protect the Caesar, it's gonna be dead. And since I am faster than everything on their field, I might as well heal up the Volcarona with some Life Dew. At the expense of Sinisha more than likely dying this turn, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So the Caesar is gonna protect, and the Charizard is still gonna take some small chunk from the Heat Wave. Will chip damage, watch in the win next turn, but we honestly didn't need chip damage. Because, like I said, Water Spout will kill from full health, and yeah, that Charizard is not looking that healthy. Both Orform and Sinisha are down. Volcarona is in poor health shape, but now it's time to clutch in the win. So the reason I'm going for Rage Powder here is in case they go for Bullet Punch. I know I have the win here, but I don't know if the chip damage on Blastoise will matter, so might as well Rage Powder because Volcarona did its job. Let's keep the Blastoise healthy and not make some unnecessary moves. FYI, this is actually the first game that I bring Volcarona, because previously it was on Arcanine, and since I never used Arcanine that much, I only brought it 1 game, I figured Arcanine's low-key dead weight, so what could I replace it with that resists fairy attacks and can be a deterrent to physical attackers? My mind went to a less used Pokemon, which was Volcarona, because it also gets Tailwind and Redirection. And trust me guys, I have wished in past game that I had a secondary Redirection Pokemon, because yeah, keeping Blastoise always healthy is not that easy. So I figured, why not try a new Pokemon for the first game of the Master Rank tier. Lo and behold, Volcarona pulls its weight. And now I'm just asking myself, why is my opponent protecting? Because they're gonna lose next turn, and there's nothing they can do here that will help their situation. So they might as well just take the hit. This is gonna be the first game for this video, and we take it with a W. It's a shame that we didn't get to use the Shed Tail Shell Smash combo, but yeah, there are more games coming, and hopefully we'll get it in the next game. And we have ourselves game 2 here, and it looks like we're facing a Rain team without our Chaladon, which is weird. Because usually you see Sableye, Archaladon, Basculegion, Pelipper, and 2 wild cards, usually Dragonite, Rotom, or Meganium. So my question is, what's the Volcarona doing there? Palafin makes sense, but why Volcarona over Archelodon? This is gonna be interesting. As much as I would love to bring Sableye into this game, since they do have the Meganium, I think Caesar is the better option. So I decided to lead off with Orform and Blastoise. Blastoise for some pressure, and Orform is there to provide some helping hand support for extra damage. Because Palafin will most likely hard switch out or flip turn. Because, yeah, they are more or less useless in that state. They need to transform to the hero form to actually pose a threat. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve first turn, and since I did not see any switch, that tells me that the Palafin is most likely Choice Scarfed. Because it's not the fastest mon before transforming, so keeping it in is risky business because they may take some unwanted damage. And yeah, there comes the flip turn, they switch out, and what's gonna come in? Most likely Pelipper or Meganium. And we got ourselves the Meganium. So let's see how much this Water Spout does. Oh, I'm faster than the Volcarona. Yeah, buddy. Why did you stay in? Yeah, kinda feel sorry for the moth, but hey. You gotta do what you gotta do, and I need to get rid of that thing. So Palafin will make a triumphant return in its hero form, looking like the love child of Homelander and the Deep, but Pokemon style. Yeah, Blastoise is not doing so well here with a no Shed Tail substitute up, but here's the plan. Since they will obviously try and attack my Blastoise slot with Solar Beam and Wave Crash for close combat on the Earthworm slot, I'm gonna switch out the Blastoise, bring in the Sinistcha to heal up my Earthworm to full health, and since I have the Citrus Berry, I am fairly comfortable that I will survive that close combat if they decide to go for it and heal up to above half and go and give my Blastoise a substitute. They actually decide to double in on the Blastoise slot, and I'm not gonna complain, because Sinistcha is gonna tank that like a beast. Well, not really, still less than half health left, but I think we're in a solid position. Earthworm is gonna get off the Shed Tail, so I can bring in whichever Pokemon I want safely. And would you believe it that I'm actually considering to bring in Caesar for free, because it pairs up well against both their Pokemon. But in the end, I decide to go for the Blastoise, because even if they decide to target the Blastoise slot, I can just redirect it with Sinistcha's Rage Powder. Well, not the Meganium, because it's Grass type. You need to remember that you can't redirect Grass types with Rage Powder, because they are immune to powder moves. But that doesn't matter, because I will take the hit from Palafin, and they will continue to take some slight chip damage to themselves. And we will happily take all the chip damage that we can get on that Soup Dolphin. So yeah, Meganium is gonna Solar Beam the Blastoise, which was obvious, but hey, it's all good because I have the substitute, which will fade, but it doesn't matter because now I have a Shell Smash boost, and I am at full health as well, which is pretty scary for my opponent. Big man Blastoise is ready to dish out some serious damage. I know that Mega Meganium will die from a Water Spout at that range, but I'm not so sure about that Palafin. So I'm debating to Rage Powder the Wave Crash into Sinistcha and just click Water Spout. But in the end, I decided to go for Protect on Blastoise and Life Dew on Sinistcha because more than likely they will try and double down on the Blastoise. And lo and behold, they actually do that. So Sinistcha will live to see another day and will be a little bit healthier for the next round. However, I do not exactly remember how much Wave Crash did to it, so there's still a good chance that Sinistcha will die regardless this turn. That makes me question myself why I didn't go for the Matcha Gacha to bring it in safe KO range, but yeah, hindsight is 2020 and I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks, so there's that. And I'm gonna Water Spout this turn regardless, but I'm debating should I Life Dew, because if they Wave Crash I will still live the hit and I will get my Blastoise back to full health, or just play it safe with the Rage Powder. But in the end I decided to, you know what, I'm just gonna go for the Matcha Gacha, because why not? I still have a healthy Caesar in the back, and even if Sinistcha goes down here, I have 2 Pokemon at full health, and they are gonna have 1 near death and 1 at full. I don't think that anything they have left is a big threat to Caesar and Mega Blastoise. And they do decide to Wave Crash into the Sinistcha. It was not bulky enough to win it, but you know what? If Sinistcha goes down, it's gonna take the Dolphin down with it. It's 2v1 now. Let's see what their last Pokemon is, and it's Basculegion. And that's unfortunate, because even if it's Scarfed, Blastoise is faster at +2, so it will actually pick up the KO here. And that should end the game. So yeah, GG's man. Don't know why you didn't have another Charlton, but I guess you had your reasons. We got a solid game out of this, where we actually managed to pass a Shed Tail to Blastoise and set up Shell Smash, so I am more than happy with how things turned out. Yeah, that will be the battles for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna put up the rental code here at the end in case you don't wanna go back to the beginning of the video. Anyways, that is the team. Hope you guys enjoyed the battles and you are interested in trying the team. If you do try the team, leave a comment below and tell me how it went for you, and if you have any suggestions to swap out a Pokemon, because I am more than happy to try out some new stuff. Thank you, bye, and have a good day, or evening, or morning. Just have a good one, and take care.